Hello and welcome to Season 7, Episode 3 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up in today's episode, we've got a couple of live commentaries against the two worst teams in the Championship. We're at home to bottom of the table Portsmouth, and then followed a couple of days later with an away game against second from bottom Walsall. If we don't start winning games now, I give up. I'm going to get fired before the end of the season. It's not been going particularly well. It started okay, this period of games. We beat Reading 3-2, but worryingly, again, we went 2-0 up, then let them back into the game, took it to 2-2. We did manage to get a winner in the 75th minute through Jan-Erik Delanley, but this is the second time in about 4 games we've been 2-0 up and let a team come back to 2-2. No, the third time, we did it against Watford and managed to still win 3-2. But we also did it against Swindon and it was just 2-2. It finished in that game, so that's 3 times in about 6 games we've given up a 2-goal lead, which we've got to stop doing that. That's a bad habit for us to get into. Even worse than giving away all these 2-0 wins, 2-0 leads, is that our best player this season by a long stretch. In fact, as you'll see in a few minutes when we get on to the current state of the Championship, he's been the best player in the division by a considerable way so far this season. James Tavernier has broken his leg. He's out for 5 to 6 months. I mean, that's taken him to February, March time. It's a long time for a 29-year-old to be out most of the season, really, and that is a big problem because he has been in the form of his life for the first month of this season. So that's a real shame. We followed that up by going away to Bradford and losing 1-0. Joshua Emmanuel, bless him, came into the side to replace Tavernier, putting a man in a match performance, but it wasn't enough. We still lost 1-0. Not ideal at all. We then went away to Middlesbrough. Emmanuel, desperate to show he's as good as Tavernier, I guess. Second man of the match performance in a row. Perhaps this wing-back support position just results in really high ratings. Perhaps I should see if I can do a whole team of wing-backs, if they're all going to average 8.4, 8.5 every game. But we drew 0-0 away to Middlesbrough. Worryingly, not scoring goals anymore. The board are pleased with my management. My position at the club is secure. But that was a disaster. We lost 3-1 at home to Posh. Really annoyingly, we had 4 clear-cut chances in that game. They had 1. We had more possession than they did. We had more shots. We had more shots on target. Far more clear-cut chances. It was just one of those games where we weren't very lucky. Hopefully, we can turn that around against Portsmouth and Walsall. And we are dominating games. We're just not scoring goals. So that's something we need to work on over the next few games. Get a little bit more clinical. We're missing Tommy Orr, I think. So this is the division, 11 games in. We're down in 13th place, which is the lowest we've been for a long time, probably getting on for a year. But we're still only 3 points outside of the playoffs. It's by no means a disaster at this stage. If we string a couple of wins together, we're going to be right back up there where we're supposed to be. Look at the average rating, though. James Tavernier, this is why it's so upsetting that he's broken his leg and is out for so long. He was averaging 8.46 across the first, 8-9 games? That is a ridiculous average rating. Lasse Viggen Christensen, 7.8. He's the second best player in the division so far this year. We didn't have players on the average rating charts last year, and we were much higher in the league. This season seems to be all about the individual performances. And we're just not getting the wins. We need Thierry Ambrose to switch back into the kind of form he was in last year. I'm not certain this system suits Ambrose, though. This is the team that we're going to be playing at home to Portsmouth. I am persisting with this because we're playing so well. We're creating so many chances. What I might do is switch Ambrose to a complete forward for the Walsall game. If it doesn't work against Portsmouth, I'm going to keep things exactly as they are for the Portsmouth game, purely because we played so well against Peterborough. And it was just luck that meant we didn't win that game. So we're going to, in fact, I'm going to bring, actually no, Ball was terrible against Bosch. I am going to leave it like that. I know Dane isn't fully fit, but they're by far and away the 2 best centre-backs we've got at the club. And Ball came in for Dane against Peterborough and was absolutely shocking. So I'd rather play a half-fit Dane than bring Ball back into the side after a performance like that. So we're going with this team. Pretty much full strength at the moment. Weak link is still Sebastian Kirk. Arbitraja, I would like to see him pushing into the side in that position, or Keziah Sterling. But neither of them are really taking their chances when they're coming on. So it's still Kirk for the time being. The rest of the team should be very, very familiar to you. As you can see, Emmanuel's come in and he's playing almost as well as Tavernier was. He's been, second best player in the team over the course of the last 5 games, so he's certainly doing okay. But the rest of the team need to just step up a level, particularly the forwards. We need Thierry Ambrose to start scoring goals again, and we really are missing Tommy Orr's goals from the left wing. I think he got 11 goals for us last season, and Kirk just is not looking like being that kind of player, despite playing as an inside forward. He's just not scoring goals, so that's a big miss, losing Tommy Orr, and he's still out for a while as well. Not scored yet. They're playing a 3-5-2. I've not seen this for a little while. Obviously, we used to do it when we were at Exeter. Kirk nearly proved me wrong. Should have scored there, really. It's not been marked down as a clear-cut chance, but he was... the ball was put on the end of his toe, 4 yards out from goal. Yes, he had a defender on him, but should have done a bit better, really. Knudsen clears up to Ambrose, but Ambrose doesn't get anywhere near that to win the ball. Don't know. I'm worried that Andre Dazelle is causing all of this because he's still not playing well. He's still refusing to sign a new contract. I've had an assistant manager report saying he'd be a good player for most Premier League sides. He's not being a good player for me at the moment. And I just worry that his general grumpiness might be bringing the whole team down. I think I've kind of made my mind up that we're going to sell him in January if we can get anywhere close to the £8 million we turned down. Was it in January last year we turned that down, or was it over the summer? Can't even remember when that was. But if we can get an offer, anything over 5 million probably, I'm going to sell Dazelle. I don't know if we'll get 5 million for him when his contract runs out in the summer, but need rid of him, I think. He's a negative influence. We've just had a clear-cut chance, really should have scored. Was that a second one? Zaman had a free header in the box. It's not gone down as a clear-cut chance, but again, we've got more possession, we've had more shots on target, we've had more clear-cut chances. We're playing really, really well. We're dominating football matches and just not scoring goals, which is frustrating when Thierry Ambrose was the 3rd highest scorer in the division last year, but he's not playing well again today. I think I am going to switch him to a complete forward and just see if that makes any kind of difference. We'll keep him on support. This is exactly how he was playing last year. But last year, he had wingers either side of him, just basically sticking the ball on his head all day long, which he really liked. But I don't want to build the team around Thierry Ambrose. I want to be a good team, and we're playing much better this season than we were last year. I'd rather play good football. Oh, Ambrose has won the ball there, though. Emmanuel with the follow-up, and that's Portsmouth have got to be disappointed with that, but Ambrose has been a complete forward again for 2.5 minutes and has just scored for the first time in about 5 matches. I think he's sending me a message there. He does really well to win the header. Emmanuel does fantastically there. Their keeper actually does really well to keep it out, but there's nothing for them to do. Ambrose is the first to follow up, and that's actually quite a good goal. Second clear-cut chance of the game. We are utterly dominating now. If we don't come out of this with a comfortable win, there's no justice in the world. But the run we're on, I'm not sure there is justice in the world because we're really struggling. And we are throwing leads away. So I'm certainly by no means confident that we're home and dry at this stage. I'd like to see another couple of goals. And now Jonas Knudsen's injured as well. We could really do without these injuries that are starting to pile up. Luckily, that's a position where we strengthened in the summer. So Haidara's a perfectly serviceable Championship left back. He's no Jonas Knudsen. He'll do. Hopefully that's not going to be anything serious. So we could do without losing both of our fullbacks. They were such important players for us last season. Could really do without losing them both. Right, despite Ambrose scoring, he's done nothing else. I'm bringing Keziah Sterling on. We're going back to false 9 up front because I just like it. I think the rest of the team plays better when we've got a false 9 up there, just linking the play up between all the attacking players on the pitch. Sterling does quite well at it. Maraglia is really struggling for goals at the moment. He's not scored in 7 games. So Sterling's kind of my first option as any kind of attacking substitution at the moment because he at least is scoring goals. He might even be our top scorer so far this season, Keziah Sterling. Alright, Hughes isn't having a great game. We haven't really got anyone to bring on for him though. No, we'll leave him on. I think I'm going to bring Sebastian Kirchhoff, give Arbacraja another run out. I want him to start fulfilling some potential because I think he could be the answer. on the left wing. Seems to have all the attributes you'd need for an inside forward as well, which is what I want to be playing out there. But he's just a bit raw at the moment. We've gone 2-0 up. That was quite a nice finish. There you go. Justified in having Dane in the side. He's done a Dominic Ball special, scored from a free kick. That's Emmanuel with the flick on again. Why is our right... I'm not complaining, but that's twice our right back has been in there winning headers at free kicks. He's got 2 assists from it. He's having an incredible game. I don't know why he's there, though. I don't understand why he's the furthest player forward from these free kicks. Come on, let's have another goal. Let's have a real confidence builder. A 3-0 win would be really nice. Sterling going by himself? No, he loses out on the ball. Are we going to throw away a 2-0 lead again? Am I getting overconfident? See, last season I would have switched to counter-attacking by now. I'm not really doing it this year. Is that why we're throwing away 2-0 leads? Oh, they hit the post, but I think that was a clear-cut chance. I'm not going to switch to counter. I don't like it. I want to be an attacking team. QPR absolutely thumping Brighton, I've just noticed on there. So we're up to 10th. That's not too bad. They have got one back. I tell you what, if they equalise now, that's how many times have we conceded a 92nd, 93rd minute goal so far this season? I don't even know who or what to blame that on, that keeps happening. But if Mika was not placed well there. If we don't win this game now, that's just disgusting. Oh, come on. That's got to be it. Let's score. Go on. Just stick it in the top corner, Andre. Delanley's got it. Emmanuel, can he get the cross? Now, can he get a hat-trick of assists? Delanley, over the bar. I am pretty comfortable that we've absolutely dominated Portsmouth there. Great performance. Bit of a shame we've only scored 2 goals. But in all but goals, we have absolutely thumped Portsmouth in that match. So, can't really complain. Let's fast forward through to the Walsall game. Right, second of the 2 games, and we're away against Walsall. Disgracefully, Jonas Knudsen has done the same thing as James Tavernier. He's broken his leg as well. Now, if they've broken opposite legs, I wonder if we can put together one real top quality fullback by just sort of sticking him into some kind of 3-legged race time type combination. I mean, of all the luck, our 2 29-year-old fullbacks, they might only have another season or 2 of real top level left in them. And they've broken their legs and they're out for most of the season. I mean, Knudsen, if he's back much before the sort of final 5 or 6 games, that would be a surprise. So, I mean, we've not really got any other option but to try and sign a new left back in January, because we've only got Haidara at the club now who can play there. He's certainly by no means at Knudsen's level. We just don't have anyone behind that. No further backup. It will basically be Dominic Ball will be our only other option. And Ball's actually having to start the game at centre-back today because I made a bit of a boo-boo with Dane. He was exhausted after that match. I've had to send him on a week's holiday. Probably shouldn't have played him when he was tired. So Ball's had to come back in to go alongside Zaman. Haidara comes in at left-back and Emmanuel at right-back. That's a very patched-together defence. That's not really the defence I want to be using for this game. What I am doing as well in this game is just having a little look at Stefano Milani. He's here on loan from Leicester. Leicester are getting a bit grumpy that he's not in the side. Mika's certainly not been anything close to outstanding. He's done okay. He's still only 20 years old. He's had a run of 12 games in the side. He's been all right, but for a 20-year-old, a run of 12 games, that'll do for now. We'll perhaps give Milani 3, 4, 5 games. Just to calm Leicester down a little bit, unless he's rubbish, in which case this will be his only game. Because I want to keep this guy on loan for the full season. There's really not much in it between him and Mika. They're both showing us 2.5 star at the moment. If we do a comparison of the 2 of them side by side, I mean, they're pretty much very similar. Each of them have got their own little strengths and weaknesses, and it's a bit of a coin toss as to which one's the best of the 2, really. But I don't want Leicester recalling Milani in January. So if we can give him a run of 3, 4, 5 games now, just to calm Leicester down, give Mika a little bit of a rest, pull him out of the limelight for a little while, stick him back in when we get into maybe mid to late November, pushing on towards the Christmas run, give him another big run of games then. That's my plan anyway. I don't know if it's necessary, but we've got 2 very similar keepers at the club. We may as well see if Milani's better than Mika. Probably shouldn't be messing around doing this. in a game when I've got a patch together defence. But you know what? What's the fun in life if you don't have a little bit of an experiment here and there? The rest of the team, very familiar to you. It doesn't change very often. The bench is looking a little bit worse for wears, and you can see I can't actually scroll any further on my first team squad now. I've had to pull Kevin Walton out of the reserves. He's one of the youngsters I signed in the summer and said at the time no intention of ever playing him. Well, he's on the bench now because there's so many injuries. Perhaps I released too many players over the summer. If we get many more injuries, we are going to be struggling and probably going to have to bring in some players on loan. Luckily, the injuries seem fairly evenly spread, so we've managed to keep a goalkeeper, a defender, a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder, a winger, and a couple of forwards. So it's a nice balance. At least we've not got major problems in any one position, but we don't have much strength in depth in any of the positions. I guess this is Walton getting himself a squad number. Yeah, so there you go. You can be number 22. Let's get into the game. I'm oddly nervous about this game. I'd love to win 2 games back to back. We haven't done it for a while, and I really desperately want this system to work. But I think if we can't go and beat a team like Walsall after, yes, we played really well against Portsmouth, but we did only beat them by 1 goal. If we now don't go and beat the second best team in the division, it probably is time to give up with trying to play passing possession football. We'll save it for when I'm in the Championship, not in the Championship, in the Premier League in a year or two's time maybe, and try it again then. We'll go back to something a little bit more direct and just try and score goals. What I will do, though, is just stick... I've got Ambrose still as a false 9. He did play better as the complete forward. So I'll have him as complete forward. When either Miraglia or Sterling come on, they'll go false 9. I do like the false 9. But at the same time, I like Thierry Ambrose getting 24 goals in a season. So if switching him to complete forward is what it takes to do that, then we'll do that, I guess. Not much is happening. They've got a break on here. Can we get back in cover? We can't, but Milani does really well. He's passed the first test. He's declined them a clear-cut chance. So 1 point in Milani's box, but yeah, there you go. We're now losing. Could he have done better there? Probably. I don't know. Goalkeepers are so annoying in FM16. I don't know if anyone else is having this problem. Let me know in the comments. I'm really struggling. I mean, I'm in Season 7 now, and I've struggled all the way through to find a goalkeeper. Milani did not even attempt to save that. Mika would have saved that. But then he probably wouldn't have saved the one before. It's so annoying. I want a decent goalkeeper. That's a decent goalkeeper and Ambrose back in form is the only thing stopping us being top of the table at the moment, I think. But I'm kind of powerless to do anything about either of them. We've got no money to sign a goalkeeper, and I can't make Ambrose start scoring again without massively changing the way we're playing. They've had a player sent off. Now, come on, we've got 70 minutes against 10 men here. We're already playing a possession-based system. I'm tempted to push... Oh, for goodness sake, right. I was going to say I'm tempted to push Hughes further forward. That is happening now. They're only playing 1 up front. We need to get men further forward. Let's make you a ball winning. I mean, yeah, he's not much further forward, but at least it just pushes him up a little bit. And then if we're still 2-0 down at half time, I sacrifice one of them and bring Miraglia on probably to go behind Ambrose. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. I cannot believe we're losing 2-0 to 10 men Walsall, who are second bottom of the league and have been rubbish all season. I mean, what has happened there? Who is that playing them onside? I don't even know who he is. I'm losing it this season. Am I going to see the season out? Am I going to survive? Is this going to be my first sacking in non-league to legend? It certainly won't be my first sacking in the history of Football Manager. Oh, Christensen has just scored a beautiful goal. There you go. He has really responded well to being made captain. You've seen from the average ratings, he's playing much better. He's starting to score a few goals. He really likes being in charge out there. Of course, this time last year, he was out injured. I think he broke his leg as well and never really got fully fit. And we never saw the best of him last season, but he's looking really good this year. Can we get back into this game? Oh, for goodness sake. We nearly conceded again. They have had 3 clear-cut chances now. We've not had one. Just a piece of magic from Lasevig and Christensen. And this, oh, they're going to score again. I don't really know what Milani was doing there. That was going wide. Can I bring Mika on at half time? The Milani experiment's done. Come on, Janaric. Get that ball up the pitch. Ambrose, what are you going to do with it? Finds Dazelle. This is looking quite promising. Cuts it into Hughes, who loses out, but ball's following up. Now Dazelle's got a corner. Ball can't get there, but it's fallen to Ambrose. What can he do with it? Finds Hughes to Zaman. Out to Emmanuel. Time for a cross. No, he finds Delanley. Emmanuel again. Cross it this time. No, back to Delanley again. Will someone just score a goal? Christensen hits the post. Why was there no cross there? Ugh. Not impressed. I know why there was no cross as well. It's because I've got a set to retain possession. So they're not going to cross the ball. But then I've got a big striker in the middle who likes crosses. I think I need to fix the system, don't I? I don't want to. I want to play this way. But then I should probably sign the players who can play this way. I'm bringing Sterling on. I'm tempted to bring Maraglia on as well. I might take Andre Dazelle off just because he's really annoying me at the moment. Because he's not bothered. He doesn't want to play for us. So if he doesn't want to play for us, he can do one. Right, so you're going to do... No, you're going to be support. Delanley can now go to be a winger. And hopefully get some crosses in for Ambrose. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I don't know how much of a good idea this is. Certainly, double substitution at half-time isn't the best idea I've ever had. But we're playing against 10 men and they're rubbish. We've got to get players further forward. And hopefully, now we're playing with a winger, albeit only one, we'll get some crosses in for Ambrose as well. Right, Sterling now has the ball. Finds Ambrose to Maraglia, to Delanley. We've had a clear-cut chance. This is getting there. More promising now. Sterling with the corner. Zaman finds Christensen. Christensen back out to Sterling. Christensen's very close again there. He's having a cracking game. Maraglia now with the ball. Finds Delanley. Can he get it across to Ambrose? He can't. We're having so many highlights though. We are bombarding their goal. We've had 66% possession. We're into the second half here. This is the most one-sided defeat any team is ever going to experience. For goodness sake, Ipswich, get out there and score a goal. Right. It's time to make... Oh, it's not Kirk out there anymore, is it? It is Sterling, and I want him to be an inside forward. What can I do? Look at that team now. Tell me what I can do. That team should be top of the league. I don't understand Football Manager. I've just broken it, I think. There's nothing I can do to that to improve it. I'm certain there isn't. I'm going to take Emma Hughes off in a minute because he's having a rubbish game. We'll bring Danny Drinkwater on. Let's do it now. I know it's early to be making a substitution, but they're down to 10 men anyway. So if the worst happens, we can always just sort of carry on as we were. I know I shouldn't have all these playmakers together. It's probably a bad idea to have a deep line playmaker, roaming playmaker, and attacking playmaker all sort of squashed into the same area. But I'd like to think by doing it, one of them's going to create a chance. Oh, come on, Ipswich. We've got 15 minutes to sort our lives out because this is ridiculous and humiliating. Do you realise this is going out on YouTube? People can see this. We're not creating as many chances now. I think I have broken it now. Fiddled too much. 22 minutes. That's when their player got sent off. We were only 1-0 down then. This team is second bottom. I can't emphasise that enough. What am I doing wrong here? Total tactical rethink needed, I think. Forget this retained possession nonsense. We're going back to last season's tactic. I know it was rubbish at the end of the season, but I don't know. Perhaps we'll have remembered how to play it again. Right. No, we're not even going to score here because Delanley can't win a header. Christensen, he's playing his backside off though. He's the only player trying. Christensen's going to want to leave. He's far too good for a team in the bottom half of the championship. We've got a problem. and it's a problem I need to solve before you're back tomorrow for the next live com. Let's have a quick look at the league table before you go. So that's where it is at the moment. We're still only 3 points outside of the playoffs, but we're languishing down in 13th place. It's not good enough. We need to start moving up the league because, I mean, we're now 9 points behind top of the table Fulham. I mean, these were all the teams we were mixing it with last season, and we're the ones who've dropped down the league, and I don't know why it's us. Well, I do know why it's us. It's because I fiddled, but I had to fiddle. You saw the results at the end of last season. Crisis, maybe. Will I be sacked before you're with me again? I don't think I'll be sacked yet, but, you know, we're closer to the relegation zone than we are to the playoffs. We're a quarter of the way into the season. This isn't good. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the future episodes. Thanks very much for watching.